Shalom, shalom. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word truth and sincerity. This is a response to Apostle Bar's his challenge he put out, to the to Alton Johnson. The kingdom of heaven is going to be on the planet Earth, and not in the spiritual realm. And the guy, Christianity is Christianity is completely done, man. They have completely no understanding of the scriptures, and they think they're deep, and they're not deep at all, man. They don't even go into the meaning of words. They don't go into locations and geography and antiquity of economic states, and they don't go into any prophecy, so they don't have the Spirit of the Lord, period, because Revelation 19:10 tells you that the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy, man, so they don't have the Spirit of the Lord, so this video is really just for edification, to the other brothers out there, and to anyone else watching this video, if you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, Lord willing, this edifies you also, and Lord willing, the Lord takes you out of that filth, which is Christianity and these other doctrines. But without further ado, I have John the 18th chapter and the 36th verse, because many people like to get this mixed up, when they read the scripture. It reads, Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight. Now, let's go into this word world here. Because Chris, the guy Alton Johnson, he brought this out, man, and he thought he had the apostle. But when you go into this word world, man, the word world in the Greek is cosmos. Which I can go into all these definitions here, the outline of biblical usage, but let's go down to the Strong's definitions. Now, the Strong's definition of cosmos, or cosmos, however you want to pronounce it, orderly arrangement, i.e., declaration, by implication, the world. So, orderly arrangement, man. So when Yahushua said, my kingdom is not of this world, he meant not of the arrangement of according to society, If you go down to the Strong's New Testament in the Thayer's Greek lexicon, it says in Greek writings from Homer down, an apt and harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, So what the Lord was saying is, my kingdom is not of this order, not the order of the world, man. Because Yahushua and the angels are going to have to reconstitute everything in this present life, He's going to have to reorder or reestablish or rearrange the ways of society and spin it into the kingdom of heaven, So remember, the word cosmos means orderly arrangement. So let's go back. Let's go back to John 18 and 36. Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. Now let's switch that world for arrangement. My kingdom is not of this arrangement. If my kingdom were of this arrangement, or if my kingdom were of this order, then would my servants fight. Yeah, and the reason why his servants would fight is because they're recognizing that the present order or the present arrangement of the kingdom is being fought against. So we would have to fight, But now, in this present world, or this present time, this present society, this present civilization, this present arrangement, we understand that this kingdom is doomed, and we don't have to fight physically, because the prophecies are going to take care of everything. It says that I should not be delivered to the Jews, but now is my kingdom not from hence. Now, when he said, now is my kingdom not from hence, meaning his kingdom isn't going to take long for his kingdom to be established on the planet Earth, man. It is not going to take long for his order or his arrangement to be arranged or to be well ordered, or to be reordered since the time of his passing, man, which is also a prophecy, Now there's another point that I wanted to get into that the that the Apostle Gabar brought out, man. And he said, that the angels, they don't eat and they don't drink, They don't eat, they don't drink, they don't have sex, So how is it possible for the kingdom of heaven to be, in the heavens when Yahweh Shai, he said, I won't drink wine anymore until I drink it with you in the kingdom of the Most High. But the angels don't eat and drink, So what is he talking about? How is there going to be wine in the kingdom of the Most High when it's supposed to be a spiritual realm and there are no crops, there's no soil, there's nothing to grow a vineyard with? That completely makes no sense, It's in Mark 14:25. It says, "Verily I say unto you, I will drink no more of the fruit of the vine," which, by common sense, fruit of the vine is wine, "until the day that I drink it new in the kingdom of the Most," it's like it, in the day, until that day that I drink it new in the kingdom of the Most High, Now, is Yahweh Shai going off? Is the one you call Jesus Christ, is he going off? Is he being psychotic, by stating what he just said? No. Because the angels don't eat or drink, man. The angels don't eat or drink. So since the angels don't eat or drink, what is the Lord talking about? What's the kingdom of heaven? Where is it going to be? The kingdom of heaven is going to be on earth, Because if you're in a spiritual world and you're supposed to be a spirit, you can't eat and drink, man. And that was explained by the archangel Raphael in the book of Tobit, in the 12th chapter. When he met Tobias, and he finally revealed himself, and he said, "Look, I'm Raphael." Well, I'll just read it. It's like it. This is Tobit, chapter 12, verse 15. It says, "I am Raphael, one of the 7 holy angels, which present the prayers of the saints, and which go in and out before the glory of the Holy One. Then they were both troubled, and fell upon their faces, for they feared. But he saith unto them, Fear not, for it shall go well with you. Praise the Most High, therefore. For not of any favor of mine, but by the will of our power I came. Wherefore praise him forever. All these days I did appear unto you, but I did neither eat nor drink. But ye did see a vision." So as Raphael was fellowshipping, on the earth, he made it look like he was a regular person, and he gave them an illusion that he was eating and drinking. But he really wasn't, man, because the angels don't eat or drink. They don't have digestive systems. They're pure energy. What does pure energy need with alcohol, man? Not a damn thing, So by common sense, you deduce that the angels don't eat or drink. So what was Yahweh Shai meaning when he said, "I will drink no more of the fruit of the vine until that day that I drink it new in the kingdom of the Most High"? Meaning the kingdom has to be built, man. But more importantly, the kingdom has to be translated. It has to be translated from this present world to the Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. To the fruit of the Spirit. This is Revelation chapter 19, verse 11. It says, "And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns." Now, obviously, as we can deduce that the man sitting on the white horse, he that sat upon him was faithful and true. That is Yahweh Shai, or those that you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, man. His eyes were a flame of fire. That's exact carbon copy from Revelations 1 and 7. Now it says on his head were many crowns, man. What were these crowns? Where did these crowns come from? Because this is a vision, of what happened at the end of the world, man. So where did these visions come from? I mean, it's like not visions, but where did these crowns come from? These crowns, and what do the crowns represent? The crowns represent the different kingdoms on the planet Earth, man, and different nations. You know, that means, and that means that certain nations, kingdoms, and kings were destroyed. Because when you look back in history, every time one kingdom takes over another kingdom, they take what? They take the king's and the queen's crowns, you know, symbolizing that I have now conquered this kingdom, you know. So this is telling you that Yahushua has already conquered all the kingdoms on the planet Earth. It says, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. It says he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. You know, why was his vesture dipped in blood? You know? So when you extrapolate from the scriptures, this is telling you that the Lord had a battle. You know, he was in a fight. You know, he was at war. What was he at war with? The nations of the earth, man. You know, so when you go back to John the 18th chapter, and he tells you that my kingdom not of this world, and if it were, my servants would fight. You know, because there's no point in fighting for this world. You know, but at the end of this world, you know, we are going to fight to translate the kingdom from Esau to Jacob, man. It says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. Like I said, man, how did he get those crowns? You know, how did he get those crowns that was on his head? You know, why was his vesture dipped in blood? Because he smote the nations. When you smite something, that means you strike them. You know, you strike them. You deal a blow. It says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. You know, so this is telling you that all the nations will be tribute to the Lord as well. You know, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty power. You know, so he treadeth the winepress, and if you brothers know what a winepress is, a winepress is where, you know, the grapes are tread, so that way the juice can be extracted. You know. So the wine, not the wine press, but the grapes in the wine press represent what? The people, man. You know, because remember up here it told you that his vesture was dipped in blood. You know, and down here it's telling you that he treadeth the wine press. You know, so and blood looks like the color of wine. You know, or wine, or vice versa. Wine looks like the color of blood. You know, so what did he do? He had to have slain some people in a great battle or a great fight, man. You know, because that's also prophecy, man, in Daniel the 7th chapter. Because when you read Daniel the 7th chapter, you know, 1 through 7 and 8, you know, it tells you about the different kingdoms that were created to rule over the earth, man. You know, and as those kingdoms got down to the last divided kingdoms, you know, which we are now in, you know, when you come down to verse 18, it tells you that the kingdoms will be taken, man. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. And that does not sound like anything that's pleasant, man. You know, when you take something, what do? You snatch it, you grab it by force, man. And that's what's going to happen. The Lord is going to, when he appears in his glory with his holy angels, you know, and he appears with his clouds, he's going to take the kingdom by force, man. You know. It says, matter of fact, let me go back to Genesis 25. Because as the Lord takes the kingdom, you know, as we fight and we war over the kingdom of heaven, you know, and we take it out of Esau's grasp, or we take the kingdom out of Esau's grasp and the other nations, you know, you still have to remember that there's a prophecy in the Old Testament that hasn't been fulfilled, man. You know, so as we take the kingdom, what else are we taking? You know, we're also taking the people, because when you look at old hostile takeovers from kingdom to kingdom back in history. I'll just use the Roman Empire for example. You know, the Roman Empire, when they destroyed nations, when they absorbed and swallowed whole nations, they took their people into slavery, man. You know, so they didn't only just take the resources, the currency, the riches. They took the people as well, man. And when you go into Genesis 25 and 23, which is the birth of Esau and Jacob, you know, it says, "And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people." You know, and that's talking about Jacob, man. You know, Israel is naturally stronger than Esau, man. And it says, "And the elder shall serve the younger," which this is a prophecy that has not happened yet. You know, right now, the younger is serving the elder, you know, because Esau came out first. And we've been in servitude to Esau, you know, as many times as I can count, man. And they have never been in servitude to us. So this is a future prophecy that has not come true yet, man. And it'll only come true after Yahweh Shai and the angels take the kingdom of heaven, man. And after this place is destroyed, you know. So now that the elder shall serve the younger, something has to happen for this prophecy to take place, man. You know. And it's Yahweh Shai, man. When the Lord comes back, he's going to tread the wine vat. You know, he's going to I'm trying to find a complete word for it. He's going to eviscerate the nations, man. That's why he had blood on it. That's why he had a vesture dyed in blood, man. This is Isaiah 63 and 1. It says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel." Now it says he coming from Edom, you know. Now, Edom is, of course, was over there in the Middle East, Mount Petra, surrounding Mount Petra, but Edom doesn't dwell there anymore, you know. So really what this is talking about is anywhere that Esau dwells, man, you know. Predominantly America, you know. It says with dyed garments from Basra. Now remember, when you reread in Revelation 19 that his vesture was dipped in blood, you know. So those garments are dyed red with blood. Blood of who? Esau, man. It says that that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat. You know, same wine fat in Revelation the 19th chapter. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. You know? So the Lord is going to come back to redeem his people and to take us from this captivity, man. You know? And destroy anyone that gets in the way, man. Especially the kings of the other nations. Now, this is where the crowns came from in Revelation 19th chapter. You know? This is Revelation 49. Not Revelation 49. This is Psalms chapter 149, verse 5. It says, "Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron." You know? This is where the crowns came from that Yahushua had on his head, man. He went around one by one and destroyed the other nations and took their kings into captivity. You know? And took their crowns, man. Does this not sound like captivity? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron? As far as I know of, is chains and fetters of iron are only used or two things: when you're in slavery, or you're in prison, which is just like slavery. Verse 9 says, "To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord." You know, and that judgment is written in Revelations Revelations 13 and 9, man. You know, he that have an ear, let him hear. He that goeth in the, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You know, Revelation 9 and 13. Slack. So as you see, so now, as you see that the angels, they don't eat and drink, you know, and when Yahushua said, "My kingdom is not of this world," he meant of this arrangement of this world. And now that we've gone through the arrangement or the order of the Lord being reestablished, you know, his order being reestablished on the planet Earth. This is Amos chapter 9, verse 11. It says, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old." You know, now, how is the kingdom of heaven going to be built as in the days of old, man? When this is supposed to be some society in the spiritual world, you know? It says that they may possess the remnant of Edom. See, there's Edom again. And it says that they will possess the remnant of Edom. Now, a remnant is a small amount, you know, of what's left. So we're going to possess the Edomites that are left from the destruction, man. The ones that survive, the kings and the nobles that we bind with chains and fetters of iron. We're going to possess them. And what does that mean when you possess a person? When a person belongs to you, you know? That's called slavery. It says, "And of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord, power that doeth this. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper." So now what you're starting to get is that now you're seeing a monumental change in the order or in the arrangement of the pillar of society, man. You know? It says, "And the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed." So now you're seeing things being flipped on his head, man. Jacob, Israel is going from being on the bottom to on the top. And Edom is going from being on the top to on the bottom. It says, "And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt." So this is after the thermonuclear fire, man. You know, because how are hills and mountains going to melt? The only thing that can melt something like a mountain is thermonuclear fire. Verse 14, it says, "And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities." Now, it says, "They shall build the waste cities and inhabit them." Now, how are they going to build cities? How are they going to rebuild waste cities, man? If this is supposed to be something that's in the spiritual world, you know? And how are these cities laid waste? From Yahweh Shai and the angels, man. And the thermonuclear fire and the destruction that's going to take place on this planet Earth before this kingdom is taken over by Israel, man, and the Lord. So how are they going to build the waste cities, man? Where are they going to build the waste cities? On Mars? Of course on Mars. If anybody got that. But where are they going to build the waste cities, man? You know, in the heavens? For what? Everything is spiritual. What do spirits need with cities? You know? Cities were created, cities and towns are a system that was created for humans to inhabit, man. You know? So we're going to build the waste cities and inhabit them. We're going to rebuild these waste cities. So the cities that are destroyed, which, as far as I know, there are only cities on the planet Earth. You know? I don't know of any cities on any other planets or any other realms but planet Earth. You know? So they shall rebuild the waste cities and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. So we shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof, man. You know? This is in the kingdom of heaven, you know? And I will plant them upon their land. So how are we going to be planted upon land if the kingdom of heaven is in the spiritual realm, man? If everything is spiritual and we're all spirits just floating around in space, how is their land? You know? And they shall no more be pulled up out of their land. Now, why does it say, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land? You know? Why does it say that? Because we were once pulled out of our land, which was the land of Israel, man. You know? Israel and Palestine, the Gaza Strip, that whole strip right there, you know, on the northeast side of Africa. That whole strip right there is our land. It says we will never be pulled out of our land again, man. Which I have given them, saith the Lord thy power. You know? So we'll never be pulled out of Israel again. And Israel is where? Last time I checked. Israel's on the planet Earth. You know? So now you should get the understanding of, you know, when Yahushua says things like in Mark 14:25, man. Verily I say unto you, I will drink no more of the fruit of the vine until the day that I drink it new in the kingdom of the Most High. You know? And that's talking about on earth, man. Because it tells you that we shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. You know? Where do you think Yahushua is going to get this wine from? He's going to get it from the planet Earth, man. How do you think he's going to drink the wine? He's going to be a celestial body, a human with a celestial body on the planet Earth, man. You know, with a full digestive system. Because spirits don't have digestive systems, man. Digestive systems are what? Fleshly, you know. And then that's why you have Slakia. That's why you have Revelation 22:3. Because in the beginning of the world, when Adam went off, the Lord cursed the ground in Genesis chapter 3, verse 17, you know. But what we have here in Revelation 22:3, after everything is established in its proper order, it says, and there shall be no more curse, but the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him, you know. Matter of fact, let me just go up to the first verse. This is Revelation 22:1. It says, and he showed me the river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb, you know. And that river that was clear of crystal would be our universe at the time in the firmament, man, the Milky Way, right? It says, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yieldeth her fruit every month. Now, this would be a metaphor for something like the Farmer's Almanac, because when we read the stars, or even now, as people read the stars, and in specific months and specific signs, they can tell what manner of fruit, what manner of crops, you know, to plant, how much is going to yield, and things of the like. It says, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations, you know, and the herbs are for the healing of the nations, you know. But there's a reason why the herbs are coming back into fruition now, you know. Verse 3, it says, and there shall be no more curse. And that's how we know that this curse is alluding to the same curse that was written of in Genesis 3:17, you know, when the Lord cursed the ground. It says, but the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads, you know. And let me just go back to Revelation, the 21st chapter here, you know, because now since the curse of the ground is up, you know, and that's been lifted, now we get to Revelation, the 21st chapter, in the first verse, you know. It says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. You know, meaning the first kingdom and the first establishment, you know, is gone away, because the first establishment has been rearranged or reordered into the new establishment, which is the kingdom of the Most High. And there was no more sea, meaning no more people. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, and coming down from the Most High out of heaven. See, New Jerusalem came down from the Most High out of heaven. So how is the kingdom going to be in heaven if the scriptures just told you that the kingdom is coming from the Most High out of heaven, you know? And when you go into Jerusalem and you go into the Apocrypha, I forgot the scripture, it escapes me right now, but it tells you that Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, man. Jerusalem represents Israel as a whole, you know. So, and I, John, saw the holy city, new Israel, you know, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband, you know, because this is when we're going to come together with Yahushua and cement the kingdom of heaven. It says, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them, and be their power. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying. Now, why do you think that is? And, you know, people out there will say, oh, that's because it's the kingdom of heaven. Of course, it's only pleasure in the kingdom of heaven. No, the reason why that is, the reason why there's going to be no more death and sorrow and crying, because we've been going through nothing but death and sorrow and crying for the past, 3,000 years, man. You know, that's all we've been going through is death, sorrow, and crying since the Egyptian Empire, you know. So all that's going to be eliminated, you know. It says, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And what are the former things that are passed away, man? The former things that are passed away is his current rulership, you know. Matter of fact, let me get a second Esdras. Second Esdras, the 6th chapter. This is second Esdras chapter 6, verse 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? See, it says, when shall be the end of the first? End of the first what? The first establishment, or the first order, the first arrangement, you know, the first world, the first cosmos. It says, and when and the beginning of it that follows. So when is the next cosmos, or the next world, or the next arrangement? It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world. Now, when people think end of the world, they think of apocalypse and everybody's going to die and yada, yada, yada. That's all cinematic crap, you know. That's all cinematic crap. It's going to be the end of the world, but it's going to be the end of the world as we know it. And a new world will be established, man. You know. Hell, the other nations, when Rome took over the Greek when the Greek Empire took over the Babylonian Empire, when Alexander the Great rolled into Babylon, and he started a war with the Babylonian king at that time, you know, when he started a war with Persia, with the Achaemenid Empire, Slakia, which he rolled into Babylon and took the capital. But when he rolled in there and he took that capital and he took their kingdom, everyone there thought it was going to be the end of the world too. You know, the word "world" has different definitions and different meanings, man. You know, when they said "end of the world," oh, it's the end of the world. It means the end of our world as we know it. You know, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You know, so the kingdom of heaven is the beginning of the world. You know, the new world. You know. And this is going to be our last scripture here, just Revelation 5 and 9. It says, and they sung a new song, saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. Now this is talking to Yahushua. It says, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High by the blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. Now, let's stop right here. This doesn't mean out of everyone in the world, man. Just because it says every kindred, tongue, people, and nation. You know, this is speaking to the great multitude. You know, the elect of the nation of Israel that come, you know, from different backgrounds and from different nations and speak different languages, man. You know, it says, and has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. And we shall reign on the earth, man. You know, that's what it says. And there's no way around that, you know. We are being made, and has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. You know, so Yahweh's kingdom is going to be on planet Earth, man. No ifs, ands, buts about it, man. You know, there's overwhelming proof. You know, there's 1,000 other precepts that myself and brothers can pull as well. You know, but if I kept going, this video will probably be 3 hours long. So, with any further ado, that's that's my take on the kingdom of heaven being on planet Earth. You know, so I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone who well. And salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word and truth and sincerity. Shalom.